Hello, welcome back to Cameron's Movie Reviews. I guess that's the official title. We'll come up with something. Today, I'm going to be talking about Fast and Furious X, or Fast X. This is a non-spoiler review, so you're safe here. So, I just want to talk about it, get my thoughts out about the movie. I saw it last night, on Friday, the night it came out, or whatever. But, I want to talk about it with you guys. So, if you have been caught up with Fast and Furious and you've been watching all their movies, this movie's exactly what you'd expect. It's just fun action. The story's kind of there, but it's kind of not. But I'll get to that in a minute. But I did like it a lot better than Fast 9, which was good in my personal opinion. They didn't go as nuts. They didn't fly into space or anything with a car. They didn't take a car and launch it into space. So I found that kind of nice. But they still do a lot with the action. It's pretty crazy. So I want to talk about one of the standouts of the movie. The character Dante, who's played by Jason Momoa. He was a very fun, kind of crazy villain that they had. He was a really good antagonist. You could tell he was a bad guy, and he was just a looming threat and throughout the entire movie. And the movie sort of does this thing where he's out for revenge. He's just always been there. He's always just been there haunting the characters, which it can always be sort of a cliche. A lot of this movie has a lot of cliches. It's the type of stuff you may have seen before in terms of storytelling. So Dante was a really good character. He was just fun. He was a crazy bad guy, and he would definitely I could definitely see him as the big Fast and Furious, the Thanos of the Fast and Furious universe, which is cool. But I want to talk a little bit about the story, my thoughts about it. It was an alright story. It was definitely more engaging in my personal opinion. But to be honest with you, a lot of the action scenes completely took me out of the story. I was like, okay, wait, what's going on in the story? Because I was so focused on the action, and I was going into this movie expecting it, the quality to not be there in terms of storytelling, but it was just a fun, explosive, wild ride of a movie. And that's sort of, I think, the best mentality to go into for these movies, because you're not going there to watch an Oscar-level story. You're going there for action, fast cars, really good-looking actors. But essentially, the action is what really sells it for this movie. It's the story's it's good, but I think the action's probably the best standout part. That's really all I have to say about positives of the movie. The negatives, alright, here's my personal opinion. I think the family has gotten way too big, and it just grew more in this movie. There's a character, she's played by Brie Larson. I forgot her name. I think it was Tess or something. I thought she was a pretty cool character, but she only had barely 7 minutes of screen time. It seems like she was barely in the movie, and they put her in promotional stuff, and I was like, she was a cool character, but they barely used her it was her, and I forget the name of the actress. I feel so bad, but she's a really good actress. She was the person who played Ratcatcher in Suicide Squad, and I forgot her name in Fast X. But I really liked her character. I was like, okay, this is cool. But those characters, they're in it for a few minutes, and then they're just gone for the rest of the movie. So I was like, what? These are good characters, and they're just barely in it now. And with the family being too big, they split off into groups. There were 3 groups, if I remember correctly. And it's just that. It's this, and this. It just kind of conjumbles, and it's not really consistent. It messes with the pacing, kind of, in my personal opinion. and like I lost track a couple of times. Like, okay, this happened, which like it can't that stuff like that can work, but to me that I don't think it worked well in that movie. I think there are way too many characters, and I'm not gonna talk spoilers, but they brought back more characters, and I also like okay, I'm not. This isn't a spoiler. It's in the trailer. Shaw's in the movie. One of my favorite characters in this universe, to be honest with you. Like, I just find him really fun. He was only in it for like a few minutes. It was just a fight scene. Ooh, hello, and then I'm not gonna spoil anything, but he's like he fights with a character, and the fighting's they're like fighting and punching people with helmets, and it's taking complete impact, like they're not wearing helmets or something, which doesn't make sense. But essentially what I'm trying to say is Shaw, I was like so excited to see him in the movie. He is in one fight scene. He takes the characters to his base, and then figures something out, gets mad, and then leaves. And he's gone for the rest of the movie. I'm sure he'll come back in the sequel or the second part, I guarantee it. But I found that I was just like, well, he's gone. What the heck? Why did this need to be here? But it was cool to see him. But I was like, he was barely in the movie. I don't know. They're either setting something up or it's just a cameo, but it doesn't matter. He did a good job though, Jason Statham. But that does like go to my point of the family is really big, and all the new characters they bring in don't really get that time to shine. Really, another complaint I have is like I felt like these okay, so this is pretty obvious. I've watched other YouTubers review this movie to help like just hear from others to see what's up, and I think I did not really feel much suspense because the characters have so much plot armor, like it can withstand a bomb or something. Like the plot armor is so insane. Like there's this really cool action scene in the beginning of the movie where they're like essentially playing Rocket League with this big ball that's a bomb. I was just like, huh, Rocket League, nice. And it was like it kept getting close to the characters, and they're like, stop, this could happen. And then just every character gets out unscathed. I don't know. Like, for me, the suspense really wasn't there. And there were some times where I was like, oh no. Like, it did give me that suspense, but I'm like, oh wait, this is Fast and Furious. No one goes away. Which can be fun, but it can be quite annoying. So, overall, I really did enjoy this movie. If you're huge into the Fast and Furious movies and you haven't really liked where they're just like trying to up the antes every single time, you're probably not going to enjoy this movie as much as a casual fan of the franchise. I would call myself more of a casual fan. I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked the action. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than Fast 9, which props to this movie. So, overall, my percentage from 0 out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7. It's not a movie that will ever be nominated for the Oscars. If it is, whoa. But it's definitely just an enjoyable ride. Like, I wanted to buy myself some popcorn because I knew it was like a fun blockbuster popcorn movie, but I didn't buy popcorn. But yeah, it's just a fun action movie. That's what to expect going into this movie. It's enjoyable, and that's all I really have to say about the movie. So that's about it. I can't wait for the next one. Yeah. So see you guys.